This repair is estimated by the engineer to cost $82,409.50 for a total project cost of $314,315.25, and is due to the excessive damage caused by the remnants of Hurricane Ida that occurred to Cold Bluff Road on August 31st through the 1st. These emergency repairs are required to address safety concerns in order to open the road for through traffic pursuant to section 3102 H1 of the second class township code. So, any comments from engineers or solicitor before this motion?
I'm going to interrupt a little bit here. There's more work than that needs done. This is limited to what we would classify as emergency work to get the road back open safely. I'd also like to suggest the board consider allowing us to advertise the other additional work that needs to be done as well. In coordination with the solicitor's office, we've agreed that the emergency work can be done immediately via the contractor that's out there right now through change order. Based on the fact they've got an open contract, this is within the scope of work, these are definitely emergency nature topics, but there's probably another $100,000 of work or more that's not necessarily emergency, but it definitely needs done. So in the essence of timing, if you would be inclined to add to this agenda item to also authorize us to put the rest of it out for bid, we can do that. Otherwise, we can handle that at the next meeting as well. Critical path tonight, I believe, is getting this emergency work authorized so that we can have the contractor proceed. Because this is 10 Mile. We would like to get them to pave Cold Bluff this year still, and I don't want to do anything that's going to delay their schedule to see that happen. John, I missed anything?
No, I mean, it just, I don't know if everyone knows because Cold Bluff's closed, but that road sustained heavy damage. The stream running along the side shifted location. There's numerous washouts, a few slides that occurred nearby the road. A lot of dams were created by falling trees and debris, and a lot of the additional work Jamie's talking about putting out the bid is to prevent any future storms to damage the road further. The safety items that this motion's talking about is just to make the road safe for vehicles to travel on it. However, if we got another storm similar to Ida, it's going to cause more damage, and what we want to get out to bid is preventing more damage from occurring to the road with the next storm.
Let me just add, when this was brought to my attention by Mr. Lawson, I thoroughly questioned Mr. Lawson and then Sean to satisfy myself that this was an emergency. And I know that Sean described that to me. He also took pictures. You were on site. There was a question as to whether or not the road should be closed. Was it safe? Safety being the primary concern. And the damages that they're talking about, the $82,000, in my opinion, is the emergency part of this. The additional maybe $300,000 is to stabilize the road so that you won't lose what you're doing. And I think in that part of it, you have some time to do the bidding. But in the emergency part, the second class township code is specific. And I'll just read the section. It's 3102H1. The contracts or purchases made by the Board of Supervisors involving payments in excess of the required advertising amount, which do not require advertising, bidding, or price quotations, are as follows. Those made for emergency or routine maintenance, repairs, or replacement for water, electric light, and other public works of the township if they do not constitute new additions, extensions, or enlargements of existing facilities and equipment. So this project, as it's been described to me, based on pictures and facts, meets that exemption from advertising, at least for the emergency work.
Gary, the way you've described it though, if we get an emergency relief, we're putting in emergency money to open the road up, but we still need money to protect it or it's going to come out, which was done by Ida. We got to make sure we word it so if we do get it, it's
emergency for maintenance and or repair. That's what this is.
Well, the stuff we're putting out for bid, some of it should be part of an emergency, shouldn't it, Jamie?
I think the classification distinction we wanna make is emergency work and storm damage. It's all storm damage related to Hurricane Ida. The emergency work is the exemption that we need to move under to get this road back open safely. The additional storm damage still needs to be classified as such in the case that we're eligible for any funding dealing with storm damage. I think that's what you're getting at.
Terry.
We got documentation.
Yeah, will we get reimbursed, or do they require that you do the work after you've been awarded the money?
Let me look, I'm not sure. From what I understand, it's a pretty bureaucratic process, so I imagine it's gonna be a reimbursement, but do not quote me on that, and I will check.
Well, that's just the risk you take.
That's all
You
we gotta get it done.
You do the work.
Comment to Harshman, can you please video that road in addition to the pictures to capture the sustained damage? I don't think it'll ever, people wouldn't believe it. I think video would be very important. Maybe even Terry, maybe,
Great week for baseball.
yeah, yes, with the iPad. Could you do that? then?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And then, as far as, adding to this, request from Harshman's, Gary, to, they're looking for approval to also advertise this tonight. Is that, under the emergency, is that okay to add to this agenda item?
Yeah, because you can't, I mean, they're estimating it's $314,000. Anything over 82, in my opinion, has to be
Okay,
advertised.
all right. So I would like to make a motion then to approve.
Did I say something wrong?
Just speaking numbers, the 314 is the 82 plus what's currently contracted. So that will be 10 miles total contract of 314. Yeah, so
Plus
the,
you still need another 100,000
exactly,
to
the rest,
to finish the job.
yeah, the rest of the storm damage is not emergency. I think we've got an estimate slightly over 100,000 for
I
the
think that
rest
needs
of
to
it.
wait till next meeting.
Yeah.
It does.
That's,
That's not clear.
I don't think 2
Right.
weeks is gonna make or break that
Okay,
project.
that-
I just
would
wanted to
feel
bring it
more
to your
comfortable
attention.
with that.
So Jamie, you should understand that there's 200,000+ remaining on 10 miles existing project.
Correct.
Now you're adding 82.
Correct.
So that the change order and the underlying is 314. Okay, so there's a whole different number there
That's correct.
that needs to be advertised.
And also, just another point of information, we originally had $400,000 budgeted for paving and storm sewers in Cold Bluff. So even with the storm damage, we're not far off the mark from the budget placeholder we had a year ago.
Can we make it reimbursable?
We were real happy to be so far under budget, and now that's gone, but either way, it's good for perspective.
So just to be clear, Gary, so this looks appropriate before someone makes a motion for it. It's 82,000 is the additional amount over the awarded contract of $230-some thousand. So that brings us up to a total project with the award bid that we already awarded, plus this emergency to 314.
Right.
And this 82,000 would come in the form of a change order to start getting that road.
So we
Okay.
can complete it.
Okay, so that would be this. Now, on the next agenda, you will possibly have on there for, motion to consider for the board to put out for bid the remaining part of that job down there.
That's correct. That's correct.
That's clear.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion then to approve the emergency repairs for the Cold Bluff Drainage Project. Repair estimated by the engineer to cost $82,409.50 for a total project cost of $314,315.25 and is due to the excessive damage caused by the remnants of Hurricane Ida. I'd like it in the motion to be that the date was August 31st through September 1st and is due to the excessive damage caused by the remnants of Hurricane Ida that occurred to Cold Bluff Road. These emergency repairs are required to address safety concerns in order to open the road for through traffic pursuant to section 3102H1 of the Second Class Township Code.
I'll second that motion for the emergency repairs.
Mr. Breinig?
Yes.